What do you need to know in regards to love? Spirit, for the viewer, what do they need to know in regards to love at this moment, please? What do they need to know in regards to love at this moment? We have got the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Star card, and the World card. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Magician. This message is for those of the collective who feel that they have quantum jumped and are now in different timelines. This was a relatively small amount of cards to have come out, but out of them we have got 3 major arcana, and actually underneath the Magician is also the Empress. This is absolutely saying that your manifestations are coming through into physical fruition. Let me go through each of the cards with you. With the Empress card, I feel like this is something that you have been waiting for patiently. And throughout this, you have been going through your own glow up and illumination. If we see how the star is shining on her, there is so much wisdom that you have gained. The Empress is a card of creation, and so too is this magnificent Ace of Wands. When I look at this card, I think of atomic energy, and I see the Kundalini rising. Because of this particular relationship, it is very possible that you may have gone through a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. This is very sexual, creative energy. It is energy that is off the charts. And the types of relationships that I often see this with is with a twin flame or a twin soul. To me, this is the purest of energies. And when I look at this card, I feel that this is rapid movement. If we look at what this energy is doing, not only is it helping you to go through an awakening and reach your highest potential, but do you see how the energy is also being spread to others around you? Others around you are highly affected by your energy, by you alone. But when you are with your divine counterpart, that energy is multiplied and is felt through all timelines and all dimensions. If you are somebody who feels that they have been doing ancestral healing, this is not just a mediocre relationship. This is one that is highly significant. With the Knight of Rods, this person matches your energy here. Their energy is also intense. And with the Knight of Wands, this is talking about them taking action. This is a card that is also suggesting that there could be an age difference between you. Do we see the little compass in the corner of this card here? This to me shows that they are being very guided on their journey. This feels like a mission or an assignment, a soul contract that will be completed together. And certainly one that you have been manifesting here with the Magician. I want to show you something quite significant about the Magician card when it comes to relationships. Do we see how his hands are pointed? We have one pointing up and one pointing down. Have you heard the saying, as above, so below? Absolutely everything within tarot has a symbolic meaning. And to me, that as above and so below hand placements shows me that you are very connected to the person that is coming through on spiritual levels. This is someone who you may have dreamt of prior to meeting, like actually have felt their energy and maybe even seen their face prior to meeting them. And when you met them, there was this recognition between the both of you. So I personally don't believe in past lifetimes as they are described to us. But I do believe that we have other lifetimes that are running concurrently to this particular one. And I believe that you are connected to this person in those timelines that are running concurrently to this one. And I feel that's why it's so easy for you to connect to them in dream state, in meditation, in astral travel. And with a hand that is pointing down, it is saying that you are trying to manifest this into physicality. I had mentioned Kundalini energy earlier with that Ace of Wands, and if we look again at the Magician, there is this symbol of the Kundalini energy, which is the type of spiritual awakening that one receives when they are becoming one with their higher self. You may use a different terminology, such as your God self or your divine self. Like I say, this is not an ordinary relationship. It is the both of you becoming the highest version of yourself in this lifetime. We can see the symbols of the yin and yang. Again, speaking of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And at the Magician's feet, do we see that there is a dragon that is coiled? Dragons are the most loyal of beings. Some of you may even have found that you have a dragon spirit guide. It is something that certainly I have. But it does speak of loyalty and devotion to one another. A dragon, by nature, will always stay very near its treasure. And you and your person will become so incredibly valuable to one another that you will see each other as treasure. Both the Empress and the World card speak of a gestation period. Quite often in tarot cards, the Empress is illustrated as being pregnant. And the World card, especially in this particular deck, does look like one is in the womb, ready to be birthed. Do you see how in this card she has the world in her hands? This is talking about the possibilities and the potentials. It is also speaking of you creating your version of heaven on earth. There are many of us who are now in our highest timeline and who have completed all of our karmic lessons. I personally do not see karma as good or bad. I see it as something that the soul wanted to experience. It may also speak of promises that we made to other souls to assist in them also achieving some of the experiences that they wanted to have in physicality. And those have either now been concluded or they are about to conclude. So this to me, when I'm looking at it in a love reading, can be talking about a conclusion of karmic cycles. Lessons have now concluded, and with that wisdom that you have gained, it is now your time to have joy and to have fun and to be with someone who is so utterly passionate over you. You will become each other's worlds. The star card, I have to be so careful how I show it, as my video will be taken down otherwise. But look how illuminated and beautiful you are. And I had spoken of you being connected to your higher self. And here we see the star chakra. You are now one. You always were, but there was a barrier, a veil that was drawn between you. You and your higher self, or you and your God self, whichever terminology, like I say, you prefer. And that has been removed. This puts you in a place where many of your gifts and talents, not only that you have accumulated in this lifetime, but also in other lifetimes, will be remembered by you. This reading is heavily focused on your personal growth and enlightenment. But anyone who has achieved this has not done so easily. There has been required discipline and a consistent belief in self and your intuition. Even when in 3D reality, what you felt and what you saw did not match. But now this is saying, here comes the evidence. It is all here and all now. And your life is just about to become the best that you have ever experienced. This is, of course, a collective reading, but if you would like a private same-day reading, then there is a link in my bio. Today will be the last day to order until